Hey guys, welcome back to video 4. So in this video here I mentioned we'll be going over some plugins. I'm going to be covering the main ones that I use and that I would recommend to a lot of users in Ableton that are just starting out and are looking to expand their library of sounds and audio effects. So I'm not trying to take anything away from what comes with Ableton. Ableton in its standard form is really super powerful and you get a lot of instruments and audio effects to work with and you can really create some nice music. But if you are looking for that extra mile and the extra customization and just some different sounds and tools to help you along, these are going to help you quite a bit. So I know there are thousands and thousands of audio effects and plugins out there that you can purchase or download for free. And I just want to make a note, and I've seen a lot of producers go through this, that they tend to go on this endless journey of finding new plugins and audio effects, and then they forget about what actually matters, which is creating the music. So it's this vicious cycle where you think what you have is not enough, and then you go out, you look for effects, you download and buy those effects, and then you find another one that you think you might need, so you buy that, and then it just ends up snowballing until you have, hundreds of plugins in your library, but you're not actually using 90% of them. But the ones I'm going to cover today are very powerful, and they have a big following for a reason, because they are widely used in all genres by all sorts of music producers and artists. And I know personally that they've helped me in my own productions as well. So the first one we're going to look at is a synthesizer called Serum. So this is made by a company called XFER. I think it pops up on here. Yep. So XFER Records, I'm not exactly sure how to say it. But they created this synthesizer a few years ago now, and it's really been a game changer when it comes to synthesis in music production. We looked at Ableton synthesizer operator. An operator is really powerful. You can get a lot of sounds out of it, and it does come with quite a few different waveforms which you can customize, and you can use FM synthesis, but Serum really takes that to the next level. So there are endless waveforms within Serum, and then on top of that you can actually create your own custom waveforms, your own custom wavetables. So just flicking through here. Or you can bring in recorded sounds. Let's say you record a flute or a saxophone, whatever it might be, and you can drag that in here, a single note, and then you can actually use it as a synthesizer and play the notes up and down. But because you can go into so much depth as to how it sounds, it's just the possibilities are really endless when it comes to synthesis in here. So it's not just two oscillators that you get. There's also, as you can see, filters. You can add sub. You can have noise. You can have the noise follow the pitch of the keyboard. You can use modulators, so you can have LFOs on any single control in here. You have all these mod wheels. You can change the pitch, anything you can think of. And honestly, one of the most powerful parts of Serum is the effects. The Serum comes with all these effects here. You can see we've got distortion, flanger, phaser, chorus, delay, and it goes on. Pretty much anything you'll ever need, effects-wise. And you can tweak all of the aspects of the effects. You can also modulate these, so you can put LFOs on any of these controls. And it just opens up an entirely new world when it comes to creativity, which is why a lot of people do love it and use it. If you purchase Serum, you can actually insert just the effects onto your track. So let's say you had a piano. I've just created a piano and put in some keys. On this track, we can actually throw Serum on it, but not the actual synthesizer itself, just the effects. So here you can see I have Serum, which is the actual synth, where you can create the sound with the oscillators. If I just want to use the effects of Serum, I can drag on this. And now I can affect the sound with just the Serum effects. I can add some dimension to it. Let's say a bit of distortion. Or some chorus. Phaser. And then some reverb. I can even compress in here as well, and I can use multiband compression by just ticking this on. Maybe a bit of flanger. Should turn that off. The flanger. Yeah, as you can see, you can really go as crazy as you want to with all these effects. And the effects are really high quality. They sound amazing on any instrument or whatever it might be, vocals. You can throw them on anything. So it's just called Serum FX, and it's literally just the effects. So we've taken a normal piano from Ableton like this, and we've turned it into this with just some effects. Yeah, you can really sit here for hours and just have fun playing around with all the different combinations that you can come up with. But back to Serum. I'll just show you a few sounds that you can actually create with Serum so you can see how diverse and powerful it is. So I'm just going to flick through a few presets, most of them just from Splice. If you're into house music, it's perfect for that. You got your 808s for hip hop. Then you have some softer sounds as well. Got a marimba here. A flute. All different types of woodwinds, instruments, trombone, big brass sound, made from synthesis, so it's not actually a real brass instrument. And just some chords. Got some pads. All sorts of plucks, yeah. I'm sure you get the idea now. The violin type sound. Short little synth. You can just get so creative within Serum that you can come up with some crazy sounds and things that that don't sound possible. But yeah, this is the first one I wanted to mention. It's super powerful. If you are interested in getting more sounds and you find the operators a little bit limiting, look into Serum, because not only is it powerful to create sounds, there are thousands of presets on Splice that you can download. So if you go back, so we've already looked at Splice. If you open up Splice and you come over to the left here, you got presets. And then you have presets for a whole bunch of synths, including Serum. So I actually own Silent and Massive as well, and I used to have Spire. But I keep finding myself coming back to Serum. I just think it's the most advanced when it comes to these synths, but they do all have their own characteristics. So there are some sounds that do sound better in either of these synths. Because they're all modeled differently, they're going to have their own tone and their own character. But as a general all-in-one solution, I think Serum would have to be the most powerful. So if you're looking for sounds, you can use the presets here in Splice. You can find exactly what you're looking for. If you want a bass, lead, whatever it might be. You can open this up and get more presets. And you can just click through the play button here and preview all the sounds. If you find one that you like, all you have to do is hit the download button. Then that will go into your Splice library, which you can get through your presets. So here you'll have a Splice folder, and then that's all the Splice ones. So it will go straight in there, and then you can just load it up and start playing that sound. But moving on, I don't want to spend this whole video talking about Serum as much as I love it. Next we have Contact. So Contact is a really powerful sampler. So if we take a look at it, I've only got the factory instruments now, so they don't sound amazing. But there are so many instruments that you can get from the Contact website, extra packs that you can download, and they're really, really nice sounding instruments. So Contact is more useful if you're looking for realistic sounds, whether those be pianos, basses, strings, guitars, flutes, trombones, whatever it might be, all the brass, saxophones. Contact is going to be what you're looking for. So I've just brought up the Contact website. It's made by Native Instruments. So this is the same company that makes Massive, the synthesizer we just saw on Splice before. But with Contact, it's essentially some next level sampling. So really high quality samples, whether those be, like I was saying, all the strings, even got drums here. So realistic drums. And yeah, if you find that Ableton doesn't have the exact sounds that you want, take a look at Contact, because I'm sure you'll be able to find all the instruments there that you're after. The music production's come a long way. We don't actually have to own the instrument to play that instrument anymore. Because companies like this have created all these super powerful sample banks, we can actually play very realistic instruments within Ableton. I'll show you the factory selection. Like I said, they're not great, so you can get much better ones by actually purchasing the packs, but these are just what comes with it for free. We have a bass here, like a bass guitar. Got an electronic piano, jazz guitar, if you're looking for a much more realistic one, there are ones out there, like you can hear, especially this jazz guitar. Some are better than others. So this jazz guitar one isn't the most realistic sounding, but you can definitely get some better options. Got a trumpet. This one sounds a little better because you're getting those realistic fluctuations in the breath. We've got some drums as well. Got a rock guitar, so this one's going to have some distortion. You can customize any of these attributes as well. So those are the instruments. Then there's also synths and stuff in here as well. I'm not going to go through those. But yeah, Contact is a lot of fun. So have a look on the Native Instruments website. There might be something that catches your eye. And I think you can do a free trial on some of these as well, so you can actually hear how it's going to sound before you purchase it. If you're a guitar player, you're definitely going to want to get a guitar rig. So guitar rig would have to be probably the most powerful in-box amplifier that you can get for music production. I know there's a few other solutions. I used to have one, I can't remember the name of it now. But it wasn't as friendly as this one. So if we pick one of these amps here, you can see we essentially get an amplifier where we can adjust the gain, lows, mids, trebles, whatever. Different amplifiers will have different effects. So we've got one here that has compressor. We can adjust the sound and the EQ. They're also modeled off of different types of amplifiers. So some are going to have more distortion than others, and you can add chorus and reverb and all that stuff. Yeah, if you are a guitarist, take a look at Guitar Rig. Moving along, I'm not going to spend much time on this one because we already looked at it, but Ozone 9 is what I recommend for mastering. So that's probably one area that Ableton leaves much to be desired, is the mastering section, because I don't really like the limiter too much. I find that the maximizer is a lot nicer and more powerful to use. So we've gone over Ozone. I'm not going to cover it now, but this would be the one that I would recommend for an all-in-one mastering solution. Moving along to this track here, we have a whole bunch of Waves plugins. So I bought a Waves pack years ago that came with all of these Waves plugins. Waves are another really good company, and they make some really high quality plugins, especially their compressors. So they model all these compressors off of real hardware compressors, and they sound great. And I use them all the time on instruments and vocals, whatever it might be. These are 3 different compressors here that all have different characteristics that were based off of the hardware compressors. So some will lend themselves better to transients and faster noises, all that kind of stuff. They'll have different tones and warmth. And yeah, they're just a really nice sounding compressor. Waves also make a nice reverb called True Verb. And what I found with Waves as well is that it's actually quite cheap if you bundle a whole bunch of plugins together. I mean, some plugins can cost you $300-400 just for one plugin, whereas Waves will literally give you all of these for that same price. And I do run a lot of specials, so keep an eye on the specials because that's when you can take advantage of having all the extra plugins. So this reverb sounds really nice. It's not the most up-to-date user interface, but it works well. I would have to say it does sound better than the built-in Ableton reverb, but it does depend what kind of reverb you're looking for. When I bought this pack of Waves, it also came with 3 limiters, and these are really excellent limiters. So they definitely blow the Ableton limiter out of the water. Here we've got the L3 Ultra Maximizer, and there was also the older L2 and L1. And these ones you can, push them a lot more without getting that crazy distortion. But they just have a nicer sound and character than the built-in Ableton limiter. Sometimes I do use this as a quick solution instead of having to grab Ozone. This might give me the tone that I'm looking for. So just to show you, the company that makes all those is called Waves. This is their website. They actually do have a sale right now, 40% off. Depends, obviously, if you're watching this in the future, they might not have this. But just to show you their website really quick. Next one down, we have 2 of my favorite plugins that I use on pretty much every single track. So FabFilter, I guess, are classed as the leading or the kind of premium audio effects when it comes to music production. And their price also reflects that because I remember paying an arm and a leg for these plugins. So they have the Pro Q3 here, which is an EQ. It's a really nice interface, and it's super accurate with its control over frequencies. So I'm not actually scared to push frequencies up in Pro Q3. It's extremely precise, and you can really go into some seriously fine tuning when it comes to EQ. So if you want to get more surgical with your EQ, if you're trying to get sounds to work together, this will do a little bit better of a job than the EQ8. But you can still do an excellent job with EQ8. This is probably one of the last things I would recommend, which is why I put it at the end of the list here. Just because you don't really need to jump into an upper market EQ, especially when you're starting out. It's just not going to make a difference. But they also create Pro R, which is a reverb. This is one of my favorite reverbs, and I use this all the time. The built-in Ableton reverb is okay, but it leaves a lot to be desired. There are much better reverbs out there, including this one, the Pro R. And the reverb itself just sounds a lot smoother and nicer than the built-in Ableton one. You also get all these presets up here, depending on what you're looking for. Small rooms, large rooms, halls, cathedrals, whatever it might be. Acoustic guitar studio, you can see we've got all sorts of stuff. And again, you can really fine tune every aspect of it and customize every single inch inside this reverb. It is a little expensive though. For a cheaper reverb, I would recommend this one here. So it's made via Valhalla. It's called Valhalla Room, and it's only $50 as you can see. And it's definitely one of the nicest reverbs I've heard, especially for the price. I have messed around with this, and I'm probably actually going to buy it as well as having Pro R, just because it can give you a really nice reverb very quickly, and you don't have to mess around with it too much, and it gives you exactly what you want. So it's very simple display-wise as well. You just got these sliders and knobs here that you can tweak, but it is one of the nicest sounding reverbs out there, especially for the price. Moving down here, we come to our vocals. So if you do work with vocals quite a lot, these 2 are going to be very handy for you. The first one is Little Altar Boy, which I use all the time. So I've just got this vocal here again.
I don't want to talk no more. I don't want to talk. I just want to hit the floor. I don't want to talk.
I messed around with this in the last video.
I don't want to talk no more.
So I'll just show you Little Altar Boy. This is made by Sound Toys. And essentially you can change the pitch, the performance, and you can also saturate it. But just the character of it and the way it sounds, I love it and I use it all the time. You also get all these presets up here. So say we've got this octave down, classic DJ, small chorus,
I don't wanna talk. I don't wanna talk no more.
modern
I don't
double.
wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna. I don't wanna talk no.
Go back to default so we can
I don't
change the
wanna
pitch.
talk no more. I don't wanna. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk.
And then we can change
I
the
don't wanna
performance.
talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk.
And then we also have a little saturator here so we can drive it.
I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor.
So you can get those distorted vocals. And then we also have a dry wet here. 3 different modes to work with as well.
I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk.
So here we've just completely gotten rid of her pitch changes, so now she sounds like a robot.
I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk.
But yeah, it's really nice. It's simple, obviously a simple interface, and it's quite cheap as well. I think, actually no, this one was pretty expensive. It was probably about $70 just on its own, but I'm sure you'll find it on special. They do run specials every now and then, so just watch out for those. But if you're working with vocals, Little Walter Boy is really handy just for twisting the vocals and even getting some nice subtle effects out of it with these presets. Now I've shown you this one here. We looked at it when we looked at the vocals and auto-tuning. There are multiple auto-tuners. This one's made by Waves again. So it's called Waves Tune Real Time. And I've shown you how it works. I don't think it's going to work too well on this vocal because it's already tuned.
I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I just wanna hit the floor. I don't wanna talk. I don't wanna talk no more.
Yeah, it sounds a bit weird if I try and pitch it to a different key. But I find this one super powerful. It's really quick. And I can get a nice smooth result really fast. There are other auto-tunes out there. I think Antares auto-tune was one of the first. But yeah, as far as an automatic solution, this would have to be one of the nicest that I've seen lately, which is why I purchased it. If you're looking for a more custom auto-tune solution, I recommend this one here. It's called Melodyne. So I purchased this a little while ago and I use it quite a bit because it gives you the chance to really go in and surgically tune the vocals exactly how you want them. So I've just opened up the website here. It's made by Celemony. And I think it was about $100 to $200, somewhere around there. But yeah, you can really fine-tune vocals in here that you can't do with an automatic auto-tuner. So I'll just demonstrate it a little bit. I just dragged in this exact same vocal.
I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk.
So if we zoom in, we can actually change
I don't wanna talk no
all of her vowels. We can chop up her vocal exactly where we want it.
more.
And then we can change the notes.
More. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk no more. No more. I don't wanna talk no more.
So here you can actually change the vocal to fit exactly where you want it. You can also tweak the pitch bends in between the vocals. So when you sing, you don't actually stay on the note constantly. You kind of vibrate along that note. You can actually customize every aspect of the vocal itself.
I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk. I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk.
So we just made her sing completely differently by snapping all of her words to different notes.
I don't wanna talk no more. I don't wanna talk.
So if you're looking for a more customizable solution, Melodyne is one of the ones I recommend. If you're just looking for a quick automatic solution, then probably one of the other ones will be better for you. So Waves Tune or Antares Auto Tune, one of those will do the job. Another notable mention would have to be Spectrasonic's Omnisphere. The reason I recommend this is because I've never seen so many sounds within one package. And when you download it, it was literally, I think, 70 or 80 gigabytes, which was just massive. So the sound library within Omnisphere, not only is it huge, but it sounds excellent as well. So a lot of it is sample-based synthesis, so that once again they actually record actual sounds or instruments, whatever it might be, and turn them into synths. So as you can see here, we've got over 14,000 sounds, and there's just, yeah, so many effects and everything just within the package itself. It is quite expensive, so you're looking at about $500 US for the package, but the sounds that are included in this are pretty insane, just the variety and how diverse it is. If you're interested, just go and have a look at a couple of their videos or listen to some product showcases and see if Omnisphere might be for you as well. I found with Omnisphere it's a good combination of electronic synthesized sounds, but also real instruments. So if you're looking for something that has a lot of both, this will be the way to go. Serum does lend itself towards electronic more, and Contact is obviously sample based, so it lends itself to real instruments better. If you're looking for something between the two, I think Omnisphere will be what you're looking for. Though I don't think it does things like drums and, you know, rhythm elements. I could be wrong, but last time I couldn't find any drums or anything like that in there. But I hope you found this video useful. Like I said, there are thousands and thousands of other plugins that I haven't covered. Some people will swear by some that I haven't mentioned. And I guess that's just how it goes when it comes to music production. Everyone ends up finding their own little groove and plugins that they like. But I thought I'd just share some with you that I use a lot and that I found useful, because I have been through the process of, you know, downloading tons of plugins, and I didn't end up using a lot of them. So what I've shown you here are the ones that I use the most, and I still do use in all my productions today. And I guess that's what matters when you're looking at plugins. They're actually going to use them and not just going to collect dust in your plugins folder, and you've just wasted some money for nothing. But as with all these plugins, do make sure you go and test them, or, you know, download a free trial if you can, see if you actually like it. Otherwise, you're just going to spend money and find that you don't even like the sound. So watch some YouTube videos if you have to on the plugins, see what other artists are doing with them, and then you can make a decision for yourself whether you want to go through with the purchase or not. With all this being said, I don't want to take anything away from what comes with Ableton. All the instruments in here, they do sound nice, and you get a ton of audio effects for free with the suite. Well, not for free, but they come with the package. And what comes with Ableton built in is super powerful, and you can create really nice music with it. So don't think that you have to get third-party plugins to create good music. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to the operator and how you use those plugins. So that's it for this video. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope this guides you in the right direction if you were looking at buying some third-party plugins now that you have some more production knowledge under your belt. I'm going to leave it here, and in the next video we're going to finish off for our week 10, and then unfortunately finishing off for the course. So this will be the last time I say this, but I'll see you in the next video and we'll finish off for the week.